What's up, guys? We're just big show for once again. We're gonna a video, but looking at the Bromance Part 2, the five-ish minute lore, episode 25. I thought we could just continue off that, and we covered Part 1 in the last video. So I'm expecting the same kind of vibe from this one, which is gonna be amazing, because Old Man does a great job with all his videos. His personality and what he does into his videos, his editing, everything is just top of the line. I love it. It's great. He does a great job with his videos, which is shocking that he doesn't have more subscribers. He's a phenomenal creator. So if you guys could, please check out his original video in the description. It'll be down there. And if you guys enjoy my content, if you guys enjoy my reactions, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get to it. This is the intro, man.
General Medicaid warning. The views expressed in 5-ish minute lore, the lore delivered in rants, are sanctioned by their scholar Progenium as excess rageous. Prolonged exposure can result in loss of IQ, high blood pressure, random outbursts, and blunt force trauma to the skull, resulting in unconsciousness. Please consult your local physician for more information.
Captain of the Imperial Fists, 405th Company, and first chapter master of the Crimson Fists,
Dope armor.
Alexis Polux. A man of considerable skill and strength, humble to a fault, and a true exemplar of his Primarch.
It's very helpful for people to hear that they should make themselves competent and dangerous and take their proper place in the world.
Competent and dangerous? Why dangerous?
Because it's the alternative to being weak.
The English language allows for a wide variety of descriptions
I don't know what the little cut was there. That was weird, but that was a deep quote. Damn.
for various people, but there's only one word that accurately describes Alexis Polux and the way he handled his duty. That word is competence. It sounds like a bit of an insult, doesn't it? It's strange that I can use the current Webster's Dictionary Pocket Edition to bludgeon people to death with, but the best word I can use to describe Pollux is competent. But it describes him perfectly. He is competently sized as a space marine, being about the third largest to ever exist. He's competent as a strategist, even giving Perturabo a run for his money in a fleet engagement. He's competent enough to have a second founding Space Marine chapter named after his nickname, the Crimson Fists. He's got competent enough looks to be the poster boy of the Astartes, and he'd be a guy you'd gladly invite to a barbecue. And he's a competent enough diplomat to tell a Primarch to their face that the Primarch's wishes come second to that of his dad. Pollux was born on the planet of...
Whoa. Just that the Primarch is crazy, dude. Holy shit.
Inuit. If you want to know what Inuit is, take a phrase "a cold day in hell" and you have an idea. Inuit is basically lifeless, except for Australia tier creatures and the people that populate it.
Oh, hi, Spice Odds. That's my own planet.
And resources are so sparse it's pathetic. Even with all this going against the planet, they had developed a small pocket stellar empire. Alexis was raised on this planet and became an aspirant to become a space marine of the Imperial Fists, alongside his twin brother, Helenus. All aspirants are tested, in some cases brutally, for final admission to being turned into a space marine, and the Fists are no slouches in this matter.
You walk through the
Space
searchway,
Wolves.
the squid will scream at you. If you get a boner, we're killing you. Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch!
During this test, they were attacked by something best described as a chainsaw with a pulse, and Helios died to save them both, mainly by letting go of Alexis's arms and falling down a cliff. Alexis lived with a chewed-up arm, broken ribs, and a metric ton of emotional damage, the likes of which therapists write bestsellers on.
So
Did I mention he was about 11 when this happened? No? Okay, so yeah, he was fucking 11! We here at 5-ish Minute Lore do not endorse child endangerment. We do, however, find his results worthy of dedicating a second mortgage to. Now on sale, Horse Heresy Plastic. Get your plastic out now.
What's in your wallet?
Oh my gosh.
Emotional damage.
Oh my gosh.
During his time with the Fist, Pollux performed his duties competently, and by that I mean he did them so well he was sitting at the same round table as Rogel, Dorn, and Sigismund. He was the commander of the 405th Company and a member of Rogel Dorn's advisory council. Now that's competence. When the Horus Heresy kicked off, Alexis jumped at the chance to head to Istvan, and was sent there alongside a full third of the Fist that Rogel had with him and 500 ships. Alexis was prepared to competently whoop some ass, but right when the ships began to pump out of the war, well, the warp began to pop ships.
Whoa.
The commander of the fleet, a guy named Yonit, tried to power through a massive fuck-off warp storm. Well, I'll give you an idea of how well that went. When they tried to translate back into real space, the Geller fields that protected them all started to fail en masse, which resulted in utter disaster. Ships began to come apart at the seams, reactors went critical, entire squadrons simply ceased to exist.
Now that's a lot of damage.
Damn.
Alexis Polux was found in a drifting wreck, and he was one of the lucky ones. 10,000 fists had died.
Damn.
To put this loss at a level you can understand, I can count on one hand where that many Space Marines died in a single incident, and I still have enough to give the middle finger to a towel.
Holy
Yonad
shit.
himself was killed, and guess who was competent enough to be his successor? Yep, our guy Polux. Polux gathered survivors and set up for the fall system to lay low and get the fleet back in
10K,
fighting shape.
bruh.
Because at that point, a monkey launching bananas out of a catapult could have dealt a death blow to it. Polux tried to prepare for literally anything. In record time, the fleet was getting back on its feet and ready for war, and that's exactly when they almost got massacred.
Huh.
You see, during the first real battle of the Horus Heresy on Isthmus,
So they go through all this traumatic trauma and they lose all the Space Marines, lose 100 plus ships, and they almost get massacred again. That's the most Warhammer thing ever, dude.
on 5, Perturabo was a bit annoyed that the
Everyone
Fist
wants to
didn't
kill
come
you.
because he really wanted to beat the hell out of Dorn. When Perturabo found out that Dorn had sent a fleet, he figured if he couldn't get his hands on Dorn, he would have to be content to beat the fuck out of his kids. Welcome to 40K, where Family Feud is literally the plot line.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pine.
Perturabo's fleet translated
What? Okay.
his system and promptly
What?
began
No.
killing everything, wiping 13 ships out of existence before anyone could even shit their pants. Polux was prepared to fight a lot, but now he was fighting a fleet commanded by Perturabo, and Perturabo was there with the express purpose of whooping that ass. The problem for Perturabo was that he was expecting someone completely different to be leading that fleet. That someone else was supposed to be Sigismund, first captain of the Fist, leader of the Templars, and founder of the Black Templars. Perturabo's entire strategy revolved around beating the living hell out of Sigismund. But unfortunately for Perturabo and the galaxy at large, Sigismund had listened to a hot blonde named Euphrates, who told him that if he went to Isfahan, he would die unremembered. She also told Sigismund that if he didn't go to Isfahan, there would be nothing but war without end. Well, Sigismund checked the box for war. Perturabo had planned the entire strike against the Imperial Fist fleet around fighting Sigismund, and if Sigismund had gone to Isfahan, things would have gone exactly as Euphrates had predicted. Sigismund would have died either due to the warp storm or falling directly into the plan of Perturabo. Perturabo had studied Sigismund well, fully expecting the Templar to establish a fortress on the planet and try to hold out against Perturabo. Sigismund's style, while effective, was extremely predictable. I call it the murder the monologuing style. Perturabo didn't have a monologue. Sigismund would have died, unremembered, and no Black Templars. That's bad.
Yeah, true.
Polux, on the other hand, his style was different than Sigismund's, but it was a competent style. Polux managed to turn what had every right to be a massacre into a running battle, with Alexis Polux even ordering a boarding action on Perturabo's flagship. Right when the Imperial Fist had the Iron Warriors pulling back to regroup, an astropathic message came through ordering Polux and was left of the fleet back to Terra. Polux was left with a decision to make. The Imperial Fist fleet was basically finished, and if they stayed, they would be wiped out. But if they stayed, they stood a chance to cripple the Iron Warriors permanently. The ships that were boarding Perturabo's flagship only needed support in order to have a legitimate shot to decapitate the Iron Warriors' Legion. In fact, it's very possible that the Imperial Fist could have completely flipped the battle and turned the battle into an absolute humiliation for the Iron Warriors. Well, Alexis is known for following orders competently, and the flip side to that is hard to competently withdraw from a fleet that is hell-bent on stomping you out. The fleet began to withdraw in waves, and as soon as the Iron Warriors caught on to what was happening, it turned from a battle to an absolute beating. Polux knew that the Iron Warriors would be gunning for 2 ships. his flagship, the Tribune, and a symbolic ship of the 7th Legion, the Lacedaemon, which had been the first ship of the Fist to lead Terra on the Great Crusade. As the Lacedaemon was getting introduced to the afterlife for ships, the Tribune was getting ran down by the Iron Warriors. Suddenly, the Tribune just blew up. The Iron Warriors began celebrating, deciding to take their time murdering the last few Imperial Fist ships that had not managed to get away. Perturabo was grinning, spending the last few minutes beating the Imperial Fist Terminators who had boarded his flagship to death. All in all, Perturabo was in a good mood. Then everyone seemed to notice that one of the ships that had ran the Tribune down was moving away. The Contrador, which had engaged the Tribune at point-blank range, was attempting to leave the battlefield. By the time anyone realized what had happened, it was already too late. Polux had purposely overloaded the Tribune's reactors, and when the flash happened that close to the Contrador, he had boarded it and taken it over. He had even hung...
I guess I'm not dumb. That's crazy, bro.
Hung out a bit around the battlefield just to throw suspicion off. Legend has it that someone rolled down the window on the Contrador's bridge, and an Imperial Fist was held out the window, flipping the Imperial Fist bird to the Iron Warriors just as the ship entered the warp.
Look at the mess of this place! It's fucking ridiculous! Someone fucking man up!
Now, here comes the fun part. Due to the way communications work in the warp, it's very possible that the message that the Fist received was the very same message that was sent out before the fleet had left for the Islan system in the first place. This could have very well been because of the Chaos Gods themselves, which turned the battle itself into a massively costly loss for the Fist when they broke from ranks and retreated to follow the orders of their Primarch.
What?
The Contrador hung an under management sign and started cleaning house to the Iron Warriors' baseline human supporters within its crew. Then they promptly ran right into the ruined storm. Oh, great! After an undetermined amount of time blindly stumbling through the warp, they found a light in the darkness and headed to it, assuming it was the Astronomicon and Terra itself. When the navigator said they were preparing to re-enter real space, Polux was ready to rejoin Papa Dorn and set himself to fortifying Terra. Instead, they wound up popping out of the warp on the edge of Macragge. Yes, Macragge, Gilliman's Ultramarines' homeworld. Unable to re-enter the warp and badly wounded during the fight at Thal, he stuck to Gilliman's homeworld, where upon meeting the Primarch became the first Marine ever to refer to a Primarch as a bastard in front of another Primarch. Said bastard was, of course, Perturabo. Everyone was wondering if Polux was going to get chokeslammed by Gilliman for talking about his brother like that, until Gilliman actually agreed with him. Gilliman then asked him to assist with the defenses of Macragge, which Polux agreed to do under the condition that he be allowed to head to Terra as soon as the warp storms cleared up enough to allow him to do so. Polux set about pissing off the Ultramarines by showing them just how shit their defenses were, and despite that, they did everything he recommended because Gilliman told them to shut up and deal with it. Polux had a lot of questions about the light that had drawn his ship to Macragge in the first place. After being told it was called the Pharos, and the information on it was classified, he was then informed, if he'd like, he could speak with the Warsmith. Polux just about shit a brick. Instantly he wanted a meeting with this Warsmith. That Warsmith, sitting on the planet of Sotha, was none other than Barbarous Dantiok.
Damn, dude, that was awesome. All right, then. Well, so they're finally going to meet now, which is awesome, since they're both kind of crazy in their own right, except one's a little more competent or whatever. But that video is amazing, though. Just like I say about all of his videos, he does a phenomenal job. So I enjoyed every second of that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed as much as I did. Again, original video will be in the description. Make sure you check them out. If you guys enjoy my content, if you guys enjoy my reactions, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.